Last week on here, we were asking what's wrong with Millwall. We were too early with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with Millwall. What a week. Alex Neill has put the Pompey result right and smashed the games this week. And welcome back to Airlines Work. We've got Rufus and Tom, who are fresh back from watching another 6-point week. What a performance it was again this weekend. And this is going to happen, isn't it? It is going to happen. Coming up this week, we're talking about Coburn. Is he the most unappreciated player in this Millwall side? We're talking Cooper, of course, as well. And some people are saying Millwall need to get that second place because there's no way that VAR and the FA are going to let Millwall go up through the playoffs. Great to have your company back with us. Lots to get our teeth into with two very happy Millwall fans. If you haven't yet subbed to the channel, press the sub button. We'd be delighted to have your views on all the above. Let's start then, shall we? Tom, last week we said what's wrong with this Millwall side? I tell you what, Alex Neill just knows exactly what to do with setbacks, doesn't he? He doesn't seem to let this team have a blip for longer than a game. What a manager.
He really does, doesn't he? I had my doubts over the lineup he picked when we had like the injury to Caleb Taylor. Seeing Ryan Leonard back in the team in 2026, I thought, oh no. Like, it's just going to happen, isn't it? We're just going to ship goals in like it's nothing, but it's a masterclass. Like, what can you say about it? He's been brilliant. Like, we just can't question him now. The lineups he puts out, people were sceptical of it. Seeing Zach Sturge come in against Birmingham. But again, Zach Sturge was brilliant. He's performed so well, and he just offers something a bit different to Alfie Doughty. His end product's not quite as prolific, but the way he defends, how fast he is, and the way he can just glide past players, he's been absolutely brilliant. And I think the whole team just needing a round of applause.
Absolutely. Should we talk Josh Coburn then a little bit? Because it's not a player who gets all the headlines, and some fans will say he should score more goals. But this one here says Coburn does not get enough credit, Rufus, for being a right handful defences, which he gives our other players an extra inch of freedom. And he is an absolute nuisance, isn't he? Does he deserve more flowers than he gets, Rufus?
I think he does, to be honest, because you always get a lot out of him in a game. He'll always put effort in, and you get a bit more out of him than Ivanovic, I do think, because he's a right handful for the defenders. He's really physical, and yeah, he's just an absolute handful. And I think what makes Coburn not get as much credit is because he does miss a lot of big chances sometimes, and that is his flaw sometimes. His finishing isn't quite there. So we've seen it against Charlton. He missed 2 sitters, and yeah, I think there's been a couple of others as well he's missed before. So I think because of that, he does get a lot more criticism than other players, because Ivanovic is the better finisher, but out of the whole game, you get more out of Coburn, I think. And I love his work ethic, and I do think he does deserve a bit more credit, because he has also scored some really good goals as well, like the Wrexham one, for example.
Yeah, okay. Jay says, I love watching this Millwall team every single week. The subs from Neil are spot on every single game. The backline's outstanding, and Coburn gives you everything you want in a Millwall striker's performance. No. Does he, Tom? Does he give you everything you want in a forward's performance?
I'd say he gives me 90%. And that last 10% is just that clinical finishing, because we saw against Preston, there was just a few balls that were played right across the face of goal. And usually you're banking on your striker, you just tap that in, but it's every single one of them. Josh Coburn is just a toe off every single time. And it is so frustrating, but no, he's brilliant at the moment. I did give him a lot of grief because you sign him for £5 million, you're expecting him, right, 15 goals a season, £5 million, like that's what you want. But he just offers that physical presence to then bring Negley into the game to do whatever he wants. Aziz he had their left back on strings, quite frankly. All the Preston fans on Twitter, they were all saying, what is he doing? It was quite amusing because no one really gives us credit. Like, you don't see us all over any headlines. You don't see us on Sky Sports News. You don't even really see anyone talking about us on Twitter from any other podcast. But we are always just there. And look, we're third. And I know Borough are winning at the moment as we speak, which is very annoying. We did need Brum to do a job for us, but we just go so under the radar, and it's brilliant at the moment. Everyone's playing brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. Tony says, for the first time in 35 games, I now believe that we can go up. What Alex Neill is doing is nothing short of a miracle. us Millwall fans are not used to this. We are an outstanding team now, front to back, get in there. An absolutely massive win, of course, at Deepdale this weekend. Rufus, you're obviously a younger fan than some of the posters that we're talking about here. Is this the first time since you've been a Millwall fan that you are starting to think now about visiting Arsenal away and Old Trafford?
I am, but as the saying says, it's a hope that kills you. I don't want to get too far ahead, but it is such an exciting time to be a Millwall fan at the moment, honestly. I think the football we've played under Alex Neill has been some of the most entertaining, the best football I've seen us play since I've been a Millwall fan. Because every time we attack, we always look like we're going to do something, and it's always exciting. It's always exciting football. We're always going to games looking to win as well. So I know sometimes fought under Rarick, for example, sometimes we'll set up for a draw. But not Alex Neill. He goes into every game wanting 3 points, and I love that mentality. And if you look at Alex Neill's record, apart from Stoke, where not many managers do well there, he's done well at every other single club he's been at, I think. And yeah, I was a bit sceptical at the time. It was announced, if I'm honest, but honestly now, I think he's definitely the right man who can get us promoted, I think, and he's done a brilliant job. And I also want to add as well, I think the quality of players he's got as well, he's really lucky with that as well, because I think this is one of the best squads we've seen for quite a long time at Millwall. And I think everything's just adding up correctly for him. He's got the players, he's brilliant at managing games, and we've got the right mentality into games. So I think he can definitely have a good chance taking us there.
Yeah. And when you've got Ryan Leonard coming on and scoring, Tom, you know something's going right, don't you?
You know what I mean? What a finish, though. What a finish.
Just talk to me about him and talk about Cooper as well, because again, he's another player who just does his job effectively. He doesn't get all the headlines like, Aziz and others do, but he's so good, isn't he?
Oh, Juicy Jake, what a man. What a man. Like, I don't know how us Millwall fans have not got a chance for him yet. But I did have a bit of a rant on Twitter the other day. We just don't do chants like that. But a few players do deserve a few chances. But Jake Cooper, I don't think he lost a single aerial duel in that match. And he was just a colossus. You could not get past him. It was just a brick wall. And him being partnered, especially with Tristan Kramer, it's just a brilliant partnership. Either have him next to Kramer or Taylor. Take your pick, because it's going to be one of the most rock-solid defences in the league. And especially with Ryan Leonard coming in, he's a bit old. Yeah, he's a bit washed up, but he's just reliable. He's going to put a shift in, and he's going to do what you expect.
Yeah. Huge games coming up then, Rufus. Let's have a look at the calendar, shall we? This is absolutely the month which is going to make or break Millwall season. Obviously, Hull away this weekend, and then 2 home games against 2 sides which are quite good away from home. Derby in particular, and Rovers Blackburn play much better football away from home than they do at home. And then the big one against Ipswich at the end of the month. I think we're going to know a lot more, aren't we, about where Millwall are going to finish. Does it matter where you finish in that 3rd to 6th bracket at all for you?
I was thinking about this actually the other day. I mean, I think it would be better if we finished 3rd or 4th, because then we get the home leg in the second leg of the semi-finals. And I think that could suit us more, And onto the fixtures itself, I fear more for Derby and Blackburn than I do for Hull and Ipswich, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Because it's so typical Millwall. We could go to Hull and Ipswich and beat them, and we could lose to Derby and Blackburn being the ultimate bogey team for us as well. In terms of getting out those fixtures, I'd say as long as we don't lose any, but I do think we might lose one of them, honestly like that. But yeah, I think
I'd say 8 or 9 points.
Yeah,
8 or 9
definitely.
Points would be ideal. That is perfect scenario.
100%. I agree with you there, Tom. That'd be a great scenario.
Okay. And in terms of catching second, Tom, like you said, Middlesbrough currently beating Birmingham 2-0 at the time of recording here. It's not completely over, is it? I mean, that race.
Honestly, I wouldn't count us out whatsoever, because the thing is, we can turn up and beat your Hull. We can beat Hull, we can beat Ipswich, we can beat Borough.
Definitely.
It just depends if we turn up and want to win it. Because if we turn up and want to win it, we will win it. But then it's those little games in between, the Derby, the Blackburn, and I imagine we've got to play Oxford on the final day. We'll probably lose that. Idemo Maku will probably score a hat-trick.
I know
honestly.
they are.
You know what I mean? It's just that's another team we dropped points to earlier on in the season. It's just another one of those games that we can lose. I don't fear the bigger teams because we just turn up.
Okay. The conspiracy theorists are already out, though, for next year, if you've probably seen this. Millwall need to go up automatically, says this poster. They have VAR, of course, in the playoffs. VAR is a good way the FA can ensure the correct team goes up to the Premier League. The FA will not consider Millwall to be the correct team for the Premier League. And, of course, they'll want their darlings Wrexham there instead. And you can just see it, can't you? Millwall, Wrexham at Wembley. Playoff final come May, and a VAR decision goes the way of Wrexham. I'm calling it here now.
I'd take a sleeping pill so I don't have to watch it.
Same.
We obviously will never be able to prove anything as corrupt as that. But is there any truth in anything like that, Rufus?
Not sure, to be honest, no. But I will say there could be one benefit to VAR. Jake Cooper does get pulled down in the box a lot. If that happens, VAR could be on our side for that, you know. I think that's where VAR...
Yeah, but would they actually look at it? Would they actually look at it? They'll just brush off and be like, nah, it's just Jake Cooper. I think they probably do have to.
Yeah.
But, you just never know with them lot.
No, you don't. It's so unpredictable, VAR. VAR is as unpredictable as a championship.
Yeah. The commentary fans were pointing out, if you remember the semi-final against Manchester United, where they scored a legitimate goal, and it would have sent them through to play City in the final, but obviously, you know, it got ruled out. United drew, and they won on penalties, and then, you know, we got our Manchester final. So, you know, there is that thought of it is a way of, you know, can we get the most money team, and obviously Wrexham in the Premier League is going to be, you know, millions and millions, isn't it, for Sky? So anyway, let's not.
I looked at it this way: football fans would want to see Millwall go up. I think the Sky, all that, they'd want to see Wrexham go up.
100%. Everyone
fans do want to see us go up, apart from West Ham fans, but that's about it.
And Palace.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
And Palace,
2 weeks ago here, don't forget, we asked you about the promotion. Who do you want to go up with? When we asked all our other pods, they said, brilliant to see Millwall in the Premier League, absolutely. I think the word funny is another word that's been used.
It would be, because we'd be setting the record lowest points total ever.
Right. Yes. So February Player of the Month time. We're into a new month. So Tom,
oh my God, we're into a new month. Oh, this is tough. I'd say there are definitely a few candidates. I'd throw Tristan Kramer in there as per usual. Man got 2 goals and an assist at the. No, good mate. Take your time against Borough. No, not Borough. Birmingham. Who else? Actually, I'm just throwing it out there. Camille Negley. Man is just everywhere, like undroppable. How did I nearly forget him? I love that man so much. He is just immense. Just does not stop running. Like I actually tracked it in the Preston game. So over the span of 45 seconds, he was on the edge of their box, managed to track back, win the ball, and then carry the ball up and ended up on the edge of their box again in the space of 45 seconds. How? He needs to be tested or something, because that's not human. That is not human. So yeah, I'd give it to Camille Negley.
Okay.
I've always backed Camille Negley. I always thought he'd come good for us.
Me too. It was just adjustment to the league, adjustment to the physicality, and then finally figuring out his place in the team where he suits best.
Yeah, I was never one to criticise Negley. I thought he'd just taking time and he'll get going, and he has.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank God.
We're on to R with our A to Z. That's coming up shortly. But R obviously also stands for relegation, and we're asking you, who would you like to see the back of in this division if you are staying here? Are there any fan bases which get on your nerves, Rufus? Not who you think's going down, but who would you like to see drop? Obviously, Charlton. We'll give that as a given.
No, keep Charlton up. They're 3 points. They're just 6 points every season if we stay down.
Rufus?
I'll tell you what, it's not because of the fans, but it's because it's that bogey side. I'd love to see Blackburn go down, to be honest, so we don't have to play them again. We never beat Blackburn.
Okay. Tom, who else?
Who would I like to see go? I think Blackburn need to go down. I think they need a bit of a reset. And to be honest, like I don't want to see Leicester go down, because they have just been a bit fucked over by their owner. I would not like to see them go down. What team do I think just doesn't belong in the Championship? Get rid of Oxford. Like, what's the point? Like, no one wants to turn up to a ground with 3 stands.
Okay.
I'll tell you a funny scenario. I think it'd be quite funny if West Brom went down, because Jed Wallace, he left us.
Yeah.
West Brom would have more chance of promotion. It'd be funny if West Brom went down the same season, we got promoted.
Yeah, that would be quality, actually. I didn't think about that.
Okay. Right then. On to our A to Z then. So the way this works is we're looking for any player from Millwall's history, past or present actually, with the surname R, or any event, of course. Begin with R, which does belong in an A to Z of Millwall. So has anyone got anything good?
Paul Robinson.
Yeah, I had Robbo. I have a player and an event. I have Marlon Romeo because he scored one of the most eventful goals against Leicester in the FA Cup when they won the league. And what a moment that was. And then Rowett Ball. That is just a time to forget, to be honest.
Oh, goodness. Right. Paul Robinson gets in then, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Alex Ray, of course, I'm sure the older fans will be saying about him.
Yeah, my dad said Stephen Reed. He was a winger.
Oh, yeah, Stephen Reed, yeah.
Yeah, he gave me that one.
Came for the youth side, didn't he, as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Older fans, help us out in the chat, as you always do. You're always fantastic.
Yeah, please.
And we're on to S next week as well. So get thinking caps on for that. Right, thank you very much, you two. Enjoy the game against
Thank you very much, mate.
This weekend, Lions versus Tigers. We'll find out which one of those big cats will come out on top, of course, this time next week. And we'll get to discuss it with you all. Thank you very much for your company this week. Great to have you along here. This has been Where Lions Walk, 20 minutes of weekly Millwall chat. Drop us a sub if you haven't done so. Catch you then.